Oh my goodness. Because you hear me the whole time. So, welcome, guys. Let me go ahead and repeat again because I'm not sure if the audio was working. But welcome to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. So, I'm super excited to be here, illuminating the world one voice at a time. Today's guest, we have Miss Chizuko, and I'm super honored to have you here, beautiful. And we're talking about how to survive the music industry as a woman, and then also your journey as a dancer, as a musician, and just things that are coming up for you.
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here, and I'm super excited to be talking about this topic because it is a big one, and I can talk about it for hours. So
I love it. Yeah. So you started out with dancing, and then you got into singing. How was your journey? How did it start?
Yeah, so it started actually when I was really young, around the age of 5 to 6 years old. But I always grew up with music around the house. So my mom, she actually started off her business, logos, etc., in the garage. And so that's where I listened to a lot of Motown music because she would always have music playing. And so I'd always be that little baby that was just dancing to the Whisperers and the Isley Brothers. And so I was just filled with a lot of R&B and soul and a little disco music as well. And so that's when I wanted to start singing it and kind of mimicking it. And I think when I was around the age of 12, I started to really take singing seriously. And beforehand, when I was like, I think 6 or 7, my mom enrolled me, into piano lessons, like baby piano lessons. And I would like roll on the keys with my knuckles and just very fun, playful experience. But I knew when I got older that this is something that I really want to do. And so it just started to morph into singing and playing the piano. And then it was dance. And I was first a dancer. And it was fun, but I knew that I wanted to sing as well. And so I just kind of started really morphing everything together and really expressing myself through all these different avenues as a kid. And then I grew up, I was like, oh, this is just how I see the world through music, through art, through dance, So
I love it. I love it so much. So I have to say something. We're kind of like soul sisters here because I started when I was young too, and I was like about 5 or 6, and in my basement, my mom owned a beauty salon, and I had a playroom, and I would be dancing and choreographing in the basement by myself, and I was like surrounded with music and the arts, and I was playing piano young, but I ended up going towards a dance career. So I love it. That's so exciting. So so your voice is so beautiful, and you're so well trained. You're so incredibly talented. Yes, I've loved seeing your journey and seeing everything that you've been doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I also want to send some love back because I love your channel and your page, and yours awesome. You're so awesome.
Thank you. So much love. I love it. And I love that you are using your platform to talk about subjects, women in the industry that are kind of a little bit taboo. And then you're also shining light where, it's kind of dark right now. And it's kind of a lot of things going on in the world that are definitely challenging.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah. So being a woman in the industry, have you noticed that there are doors that are a little bit harder for you to go through? You have to really kind of push your way through?
Yes. So that's such a good question because that's something that I struggle with and a lot of women struggle with on a daily when it comes to the music and music industry, which is why I think it's so important for representation and using platforms as a female and as a woman of color to really speak up about this because it's so real and people don't talk about it enough and our stories aren't heard enough. We usually put in the back burner about what it's like.
Right.
And it's very real and it's hard because it is a very male dominated industry as many things are, as most of them are, I think, it's a male dominated world. Yeah. And the more that we start realizing that we as women, we actually, we create life. It's very interesting to me. I always use this concept is that we create life, we give life. And so when you put us and our energy into those spaces, you can only imagine the stuff, that's going to come out. And so I just having more of those opportunities is so important to me, because it is very difficult now, because a lot of people don't see that potential in us. They look at us and they look at our looks and they look at, what we can flaunt and what we can add visually. But what matters is that I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I'm a spiritualist, but I'm a sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a sister. I am an auntie. I have people that love me in my life. I'm more than just this objectified person that is in front of you. I have something to offer, and I'm a human. And so going out.
Yeah, for us, I love it. It's so true though, because I've been in a situation too my whole life where I've been very objectified.
Yeah.
And, being a dancer also.
Yes.
It kind of is a little more also used, against me too. And it's like there's so much more depth that is there. And, we're wanting to make a difference in the world. We're wanting to make a change, and we're wanting to, make the world better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So how did you get your break in the industry then?
Well, I think it was a kind of multiple breaks. That's how I realized it. Because with the industry, I feel like you're always going to have moments, but it really is about that one moment, I guess, that makes you stand out. But I always felt like my break was just little achievements that I kept going forward in. I even look at me as going to dance class as like one of my breaks in it, because that's when I started. And my YouTube channel and my Instagram is, also what really propelled me. Like, all of my covers that I grinded on, and my dances and my music, I started getting views and started to get put on playlists on YouTube, and people started to talk about me a little bit. And then I started putting out music, and I also started putting out more videos of me. And I think people just started to get like, oh, this is Chizuko. Oh, okay. She's really dope. She has something to offer me. And so I think one of the major ones was I actually ended up on a sorority playlist. And sorority is like a well-known social media influencer. Well, they're a duo.
Okay.
And one of my songs, my first single, actually, Bounce Back, got put on their playlist, and it kind of went viral. And I woke up the next day and like I was on their playlist, and then things kind of started to happen. And then I started getting more views on everything, and I started to develop a little fan base for myself. And so recently another one has been with Different, which is my song with James Worthy. And so it's just really like all these different moments that God and the universe have just been building up for me. And so, yeah, just multiple breaks.
It's so exciting. And I feel like it's kind of how, it happens. You really grind and you hustle, and you're really wanting to make a difference. And a lot of people now are really resonating with that and really wanting that, and are wanting to, reach out to people in the industry that are being creative and making a statement.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That's so exciting. Congrats. Yes. And I know Dave, he's a doll. Love him.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm super excited for you guys' collaboration. Yes. And like Denise said, women do not want to be objectified, but live life flaunting their bodies on videos. Okay. Anyways, so as far as your vision and your image, how have you been able to stay strong with your vision and pretty much not let people in the entertainment industry try to change you into a different way, or try to manipulate? Because I know that does kind of happen with some people, and I have so much respect that you are staying strong with your image and your vision, and you're staying on your path.
Yeah. Yes. So that's such a good question, by the way. I wanted to say that was a very great question, because this is something that's comes a lot into mental health for me. And it goes a lot into checking my ego the more I get into this industry. And so some things that really help me is just self-care, 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 and self-care. I do a lot of spiritual work, a lot of grounding work, and a lot of spiritual practices. And so I'll always like being in the studio with my Palo Santo. Don't mind me. I'm just getting myself together. I might say a prayer. Definitely meditation is a big thing for me. And also just always staying connected. And doing things that like really help me, and that, you know, being a little bit more selfish with my time, which a lot of people kind of downfall because they're like, you don't want to be selfish, but being selfish, you know, especially being in my shoes, it's so important. It's so important that self-love for everybody is. And mental health is one of those things where it's always back and forth, up and down. And that's why I think it's really important to stay on top of self-care, whether it's like, sometimes for me, it can look like going on a road trip, which I don't know why, but driving is really soothing to me. I'm playing some of my favorite music. That might just be a form of self-love, or taking myself on a date, like going to the movies, or just getting my nails done, something that like is about me, or even it really could be anything, but as long as, you know, I'm being satisfied. I love to read as well, so I am reading a lot. I'm a big nerd, and I get inspired by a lot of different authors, and even, you know, sometimes diving into like different artistries. And so I'm not a photographer or a painter or anything like that, but I get inspired, you know, by other artists as well. So
I love that.
Yeah, specifically, I always say this, specifically female artists and female color artists, because they, you know, represent a lot of representation for me. And so that's just something that helps me be like, okay, you know, not alone in this. There's other females out there that are feeling what I'm feeling, and that are actually doing something, you know, really powerful. So definitely self-love just comes in like all different forms, but that's definitely like one of the ways for me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's so huge. That's such a good tip that you said, because most people don't really think, you know, self-love is that big of a difference. And you know, taking that time out for yourself isn't going to make that much of a difference, and it's being selfish. But you really have to ground yourself. And I know me too, recently, I'm trying to find that balance of, when I tend to work on a project, I grind really hard, and I really hard, and I've noticed moments where I'm not drinking water, or I'm not just relaxing, you know, on pizza, watching Netflix. And so I'm trying to like find that balance, and, you know, just enjoy the moments and enjoy every day.
Yeah.
For sure. So then you have your projects coming up. You have the song with James, and then what other things are in store for you?
Yeah, so I am going to be dropping some more projects very soon, so I'm very excited about that. I have a single out right now called Time Flies with Lyra the Innovator, and it's produced by Starry and Ollie Cooper, and it's such a beautiful project, so please go check it out. There's so much love and intention put behind that song and that music video, so definitely go check that out if you want to just, you know, feel high vibrations. And that song is also about how time flies, so that's funny that you're talking about being in the moment, because that's something that I was writing about at that time, because especially in quarantine, life is going by so quick, and life is really like catching up to me the more I realize. And it's almost my birthday as well, so I'm like really feeling this like time going by really quick, but also taking in those moments and really treasuring them. So yeah, definitely go check my single out. And
yeah, and happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. Yeah, it's so true that you know, with quarantine, time has really been going by fast. And I went to the store recently, and they're already doing like Christmas stuff, and it's like, where did the year go?
Yeah, I have no idea. Have you
found that you've been more creative during quarantine?
Yeah. So as a Sagittarius, I'm very I work really well in like solitude and on my own. So it's very interesting, because I feel like Sagittarius is, we could just like be alone for the longest time and come out with like the most coolest stuff, just because our energy is just very all about like, you know, almost like self-energized. And so I have found myself really creative. I think it's more for me like time management, because now I have time to do so many things that it's like I literally have like bucket list on bucket list of just things I need to get done, things I want to do, people I need to call, things that, just a lot of things that I've been trying to squeeze. So it's a little bit of overwhelming as well. I'm also in school. And so,
wow.
yeah, so I'm attending California Institute of the Arts. And so that's a college actually in Southern California. And I've just been grinding with school and music. And so I think it's just trying to keep myself sane in quarantine.
Yeah. I was gonna say, a lot. You're like so centered and you're so, calm and just very balanced.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, definitely. It takes a lot of work, a lot of mental work. I catch myself. I think the reason why I'm really like this now is because I was not, and that's not naturally how I am. I freak out. I really freak out. And I panic and I get anxiety. So for me, it's like I either like am like that or I'm like on the calmer side. And I usually take information pretty well and adaptability. I have a really good I'm pretty strong at being like what's the word? Adapting to situation. Yeah, going with the flow. But I definitely have my freak out moments that I have to check on myself every morning. Like I'll wake up and I'll just be like, I have so much to do. I'll literally wake up and I'll just be like, I have so much to do. And like I'll just stare at the ceiling and just remind myself that I'm here and I still got it and I'm still going and I have to like really cheer myself on. And sometimes I'll just have to, do that extra stuff like meditate and really get myself there because it's not easy.
I love it so much because I do the same thing. I have some anxiety too. And I have some lists that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a little bit much.
Yeah.
And the last couple of days, I've talked to myself a lot lately. And I wake up in the morning and I've been so blessed with the show. It's been doing so well and it's growing and there's so many opportunities that are popping up from it.
Yeah.
But, it's like a list of stuff and I'm super motivated, but I have to talk to myself in the morning like you. And I have to say, okay, we can get through this. Let me just breathe. Let me do a couple Pilates things. Let me do a little bit of some yoga.
Yeah.
A little bit. Talk to my kitty cats.
There you go.
I love it. And it's important, you should be your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
And I feel like, everyone, women, men should just have the moment, to talk to themselves and say, hey,
yes,
let's get through this. Take each day at a time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And it's definitely like, I almost have to say this mantra to myself in the mornings of just like, it's going to work out either way. And I think sometimes we forget that, especially like, us being here, living comfortably, having beds, having water, having food, being able to move through this life. Privilege, I guess you would say as well, having that some privilege, being in this world and having these necessities at our fingertips, like, many of us, if you're probably watching this, you have that privilege, which is beautiful, in terms of learning to be appreciative of that and just waking up and being like, but it's going to work out and like, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And if it's not perfect, that's okay. And if it's not exactly what it needs to be, it's okay because I'm still here and I'm still working. I think that's something I have to remind myself is it's just like nothing is so important for you to like lose who you are or to lose your sanity. You know what I mean? Nothing is that important. So just, please like continue to stay strong and put yourself first in that way.
I love that. That's such a great tip, for sure. Yeah. Believe in yourself and everything's going to be okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So how long does it take you to come up with, the songs and like writing and stuff like that? Because you do writing for music too.
Yes, I do. So I write all my music, I create all my melodies, and I vocal produce myself. And really, for me, it can come in different forms for melodies. I come up with melodies really fast, but I think that's just because of my background. Me playing the piano with all melodies, So I have a big piano background and a big dance background as well. So I've just always heard tunes, and I think I have a lot of melodies and lyricism. I think I've always found it a little bit harder because before I actually started making lyrics, I did spoken word and poetry. Spoken word first. So I was just very big on words and writing. So it took me a long time to figure out like how to transfer that into music, because music is about cadence and sections, and so you have to say a lot in little phrases and in little words.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, I like to talk a lot and I like to write a lot, and with music it's harder because it's like you have like 2 bars to say what you need to say in the first verse, or for the first part of the verse, and then the second part of the verse you still have to abbreviate it. And so it took me a minute, but now I'm able to come up with lyrics a lot faster. And it really depends. Some songs take maybe like a week. Some songs take me an hour to come up with, but it's really my mood. Sometimes I'll write music on the piano, and it usually takes longer for me just because composing, writing out melodies, creating the bass line, the chord structure, then figuring out your voice and figuring out what you want to do. That all is like a whole process. But if I'm working with producers and collaborating, which is like one of my favorite things to do, I love collaborating so much. So that usually can take up like pretty fast. And that's usually how much time we have, studio time. It's, a little bit quick, and it's fast, and it's fast paced, and I'm always forgetting to eat and to breathe, and it's just, I'm so excited. So yeah, definitely.
That's so exciting. You're so talented, a true composer. So who would you like to collaborate with?
Yes, I have a long list, but could it be also like artists like outside of music as well?
Yeah.
We'll say that. So there's this one photographer, actually. Her name is Zanella Muhali, I think, and she does a lot of work for the LGBTQI plus community, and she's a photographer, and she really brings a lot of representation. So I would love to collaborate in like a music and a photographer standpoint, and like really be a part of her mission with that way. So I would love to collaborate with her. She's a really cool artist, and I really am down for her. Another one is Janae Aiko. She's somebody that I've always looked up to, and her lyricism and her poetry have really inspired me to be the freest version of myself. And so I just want to collaborate with her. Definitely Princess Nokia. I love Princess Nokia so much. And she has a lot of views, I think, that have also propelled me, and that mainly for me, she's taught me a lot about self-love and a lot of love for me as who I am, being Black and Japanese, being a woman, being here. So she's definitely another person. And Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. As yeah.
That's a good list. They're all such inspiring people and creative.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And like you said, you have a beautiful mix. I'm also mixed, so I'm Italian, French, Indian, and Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Girls here going on.
Yeah.
I love it. So as far as future goals, what is something that you're really wanting to let people know?
Yeah, so for me, I really just want to, and this kind of ties into with like what I want to be remembered for as well. But for me, I would really love to be remembered for, and also to be known for impacting people's lives through my music and what I stand for. And that's freedom, and that's love, and that's of light, and specifically, for our more oppressed communities as well, our Black and Brown, our women, our LGBTQI plus communities. I really want to be more of a part of that movement, and I really want to bring more healing and freedom through my music in that way, and just for what I stand for. So I would love to. That is like one of my ultimate goals. If people know me, know Chizuko, and know that about me, and feel that way with my music, and even if I see them at my concerts and just seeing them feel free and in my music and feeling like they have a place to belong, that would mean like everything to me.
Oh, I love it. You're gonna make me cry. I love it. And you already are. You're shining so much light, and your spirit's just so beautiful, and your music is just incredible, and you're so talented. You're already inspiring so many people. Did you want to sing something?
Ooh, sure. Yes. I can sing. I'm trying to pick between two songs right now. I'm like picking between.
I love it, guys. We're gonna hear her sing. I'm so excited. Tune in to hear her beautiful voice.
Okay, I'm gonna sing different.
Okay.
And that's a song me and James Worthy did together. Cool. You're the one saying I gotta be different. Ain't nothing wrong, why you tripping? Pushing me away, acting distant. You ain't been the same when you switched up, but you're the one saying I'm too inconsistent. Fuss and fight, playing defense, blowing up the lies and the secrets. The truth comes to light. Sorry, I messed up a little bit.
I love it. That's so beautiful. Oh, my girl.
We mess up too a little bit.
It's not be perfect. We love those moments. I love it. And you're so humble and you're so genuine, which is why, so many people are just really falling in love with you.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Is there something that you would tell people to, especially women or those that are having a hard time with self-love and having a hard time with, letting themselves really shine?
Yeah, so one of my biggest tips is, this is going to sound really cliche, but I really highly recommend it. Look in that mirror. Look in that mirror and say whatever mantra that resonates with you. And or just say something that you're really the most insecure about and remind yourself and replace it with thoughts that are and words that are more beneficial to you. So I actually wrote down a little mantra this morning, if you guys want to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So this is one thing that I had to say to myself this morning. But I said, today I will not haunt myself with thoughts of things that I could have done differently, but I'll practice gratitude and contentment through each present moment. So that's something that I needed to remind myself today. And me saying that to myself in the morning, or creating mantras in the morning, or even just looking in the mirror and saying, you are beautiful. Because what's one insecurity that I have? I have an insecurity about my stomach. That's something being open about, So I'll say my stomach is beautiful. Maybe it might be my hair that day. My curls are beautiful. My kinks are beautiful. So really reminding yourself, because you got your back, No one's gonna sit there and help you as much as you can. So that's me.
I love it. I'm gonna take your mantra and say I love it. It's so true. It's so good to turn whatever negative or, being down on yourself and talk to yourself in a positive light.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that so much.
Yes.
Yes. Was there anyone that you wanted to do a shout out to?
Ooh, shout out to my mom.
No.
My beautiful mom. My mom, the one who has brought me this far. Yeah, shout out to her, most definitely. And shout out to all the people that I've worked and collaborated with. You guys have really mentored me and helped me be, the person I am today. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. Was there anything else that you wanted to tell the viewers?
Yes, please follow me on all my social medias, and that's just going to be Chizuko Music. And my TikTok it's Chizuko, and that's where you can find the most latest updates on my music and covers or anything else I got going on. So definitely follow me on all my socials, and definitely, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yes, and we will have all of your social media platforms in our live, and then this will also be broadcasted on 7 different podcast platforms. Cool. So we have information there too. And I am going to get on TikTok and I will follow you. I still have not been on the TikTok wagon yet, and I keep getting told to get on there.
Yes, please.
So I will definitely find you, girl.
Awesome.
I love it so much. It has been such a pleasure and such an honor. It has just been so much fun, and you are already illuminating the world with your presence.
Thank you.
So much love for you. So
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
that. Thank you. And keep doing what you're doing. You're so awesome for real. And I love your page and what you stand for as well. So keep doing it. And we'll definitely, keep supporting each other for
Yes,
sure.
yes, we will definitely keep in touch. There's so
Yeah.
much for you, girl. Thank you so much. It's been
Thank
so fun.
you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
guys. Thank you for tuning in. I love it. Thank you for watching Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez, illuminating the world one voice at a time. And we just had our beautiful guest on, and we were talking about how to survive the music industry as a woman, Miss Chizuko. So remember to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and then also on the multiple podcast platforms. Thank you guys. So much love.